Hi everybody, we're gonna do a lot of things in this one video. So I'm gonna have two tutorials, one review of something I suggested before, and a project sharing. Okay, so we'll have to move quickly so we won't waste time. Okay, so remember the toilet paper mini, and then someone you wanted to ask about how I did binding. So I'm gonna start with that first, and okay, instead of just giving you just plain measurements, I'm going to teach you how I came up with the concept of the measurements so that you can put that same thing into any like measurement of chipboard or anything. Okay, so what I have here is two pieces of 4 inches and 4.5 inches, as well as one piece of 2.5 by 4.5 inches. So this is going to be a spine piece. So this is kind of like how the inside of the book will look. Okay? And clearly this has to be logically, the spine has to be logically the same size as your front and back cover. And so before that, I went ahead and already stuck down my front and back cover to my chipboard. Okay? So that's that. Okay, so the reason that I gave this 2.5 inches was simply because the binding ring I'm intending to use is about 2 inches. A little bit less, let's see. It's about 1.5 inches. So I want to give it like some space for maneuvering and stuff. Right, so this is just simple logic. So if I'm gonna use a smaller ring, I can afford to have a smaller spine. Alright, so just add 1 inch to whatever inch your like binding ring is. Alright, so that's logical. And so in other words, you can have it in any height. You can have it like really far away, and you can have like 3 rings, or you can have it really short. And so like the one I had in my toilet paper mini, I think that's about 2.5 inches. So that's that. What we're gonna do is gonna do the binding first. Okay, so here I got a piece of black paper that will become my spine. Alright, and logically, if this is 2.5 inches, this has to be longer. Alright, so I made this into about 4 inches. If you want to, you can make it to up to 5 inches, and then if you have like a border punch or something, and you have like patterns on the side, like the one I did on my toilet paper mini. But here, this I'm going to keep it simple, so I'm okay to stick with 4 inches. So add about 1.5 to 2 inches to the width of your spine. Alright? And so what's going to happen is that you're going to have to stick this on like that, leaving just like 1/8 or even 1/16 of an inch of space in between. Now, the thicker your cardboard, the more space you have to leave. So I'm gonna keep about 1/8 of an inch. So if your front and back cover are thicker, then clearly you have to leave more space because it needs to fold in. Alright. Okay, how am I going to do this? I'm going to use glossy accent because it will be stronger. And I advise you to use something really strong like Beacon's ink, Beacon's glue or something. So do not, I repeat, do not use what do you call that? Snail glue. It's not going to work for the spine. Right? The spine needs to be held relatively strong. So clearly, it wouldn't work if you use just like regular snail glue. Alright? What do you call that? The snail tape glue. I'm talking about those glues that you use for like what do you call that? I'm talking about those glues that you will usually use for now you see me that I'm gonna apply this to the paper instead because I don't want it to have to guess where my glue is gonna go. So here, and you could also use like Wonder Tape or something, just basically anything that is okay. I think like this as a front more than this. Alright, so this is gonna go here. Yeah, so where was that? You could use Wonder Tape, or you could use like oh come on, glossy accent come out. Clearly I need to buy a new ball because This ball is always getting stuck, and it's kind of like running out, so I guess it's okay that it keeps getting stuck, but okay. You see this? So this is how you're gonna do it. And you're gonna fold this in. Okay, it meets it like that. Alright? So what I'm gonna do is gonna put glue on this side. Come on! I actually need to get a new ball, because this is clearly finishing. And I have so many projects to do, and I have no time to go down and get that. Well, I was at a scrapbooking shop just now, and I completely forgot I needed to get glossy accent. Gosh. Come on! Okay. You could use Wonder Tape, you could use like basically anything that will be strong and sturdy. For glossing, it's going to take some time to dry. I'm gonna have to like put my finger here down here for a while. Alright. Okay, now this is the part we will test whether or not it makes sense. See? It does. So your color makes sense. Okay. Okay, this is the part that gets a bit tricky. I realized that I folded in against the grain. I will clearly advise you to fold with the grain, so you kind of have to like guess where the paper is. You could use like a what do you call that? You could score it, but I'm just a little bit lazy, and so I end up with a messy one. Well, too bad. This side came out fine. Strange, but either way. So here you can see how the binding is done, the basic binding. Right? To hold some of the parts out because clearly the glossy accent hasn't dried. If you use Wonder Tape, this will clearly be far easier process. Now I also I already pre-cut the inside, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick those down. Alright. Now this part you can use your snail tape glue. It is fine. Okay. But this part's not going to get folded or whatnot, so it's fine. I'm going to have this here. I'm going to have this here. Okay, now what's gonna happen is you're gonna have to. Okay, I'm gonna get my punch, my one-hole punch that is attached to my eyelid there. Ta-da! Okay, and I'm gonna have to like estimate like how far deep this can punch as well, because clearly it can only punch to like a certain extent, right? If I have it any like if the hole was any, I mark the hole any deeper, it's probably not gonna work. So this is about here. So okay, this where a good amount of intelligent guessing will help. Now instead of using a ruler to measure exactly where it is and then punch a hole, which might not be as accurate, I'm going to use this as the guide. Okay, so I know that my hole has to be somewhere around here. Right, this is just a rough guide, but this will be good enough. So same for the other side. Okay, the reason I did this before I stuck it on was because if I stuck that last piece of layer onto this before doing the punch, this thing will get caught. But by all means, you could like totally do the same. That's like I totally just go for it. Now I'm just gonna like draw some guidelines. I'm gonna erase those lines later anyway, so it's okay. To where it would have been down below. And I'm gonna go ahead and punch that out. And there you have the holes. Alright? Really simple. Fix that later. Whatever. I got an exact flat piece at 2.5 and 4.5 as well. Fell to the ground, so I had to go for it and catch it. And I'm gonna just stick this down. This time, I'm still gonna go back to the glossy accent. This is exactly, you should cover it just nice. Okay, and because I have my holes, I can roughly guide my punch into the same holes. Come out. Okay. Sigh. The woes of a crafter. Okay. And there you have your holes. Alright? And now you can use your rings. Now how you're going to put your rings is that instead of like force feeding it through, which just doesn't make sense, okay, put one ring through, okay, and you know because the length is there, close this side and this side when it's at here. So it's gonna help. Ta-da! And see, it's already through. And I'm gonna have to bind it. Ta-da! And you do the same for the other side. Okay, instead of force feeding it through, go through one. Okay, I'm gonna show it again. And force feeding it, go through one. And from here, you can already enter through the other side as you close. Alright? And there you have it. The binding. Ta-da! And like right after this, then if the pages inside can be smaller, bigger, however you want it, right? You have to use this as your stencil, or like kind of like the place where the mark is at, and you can put your pages in here, and you flip right through. See? So this is a really simple binding method. Alright? Okay, now we've got that done. Okay, I'm 30 minutes and I'll try to make sure that I finish this in 16 minutes. So I'm gonna show you guys another way to save your scraps, or like one way to save your scraps. So maybe this can go into my my list of how to save scraps thing. Okay, so what I did, right, was, and it's not even scraps, it's like how you recycle. I'm gonna show you a few cool stuff. So okay, so your pattern paper, sometimes they get like two small bits and you really don't throw them away. Take a circle punch, this 1 inch, and punch them out. And using the same punch out the backing of like a lot of your, what do you call that? Like 6x6, or sometimes your 12x12 do come in like this huge, that really thick backing paper for those packs. And this one is from the one from Blitz. And what I did was I simply punched a circle. Just an EK Success 1 inch punch. And I get something like that. And what I do is I take Okay, let's say I want to take this pattern paper and I want to stick it down. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to use that glue, but usually I use glossy accents for this. And simply by taking that 1-inch punch again, where did I go? Okay, here. I'm just gonna like eyeball this and around here. And there you have a paper button. Isn't that cute? And I'm gonna show you some of the things I've made with that, and that would go over to my project. You could just simply like take like floss and tie like what do they call that? Butterfly knot? Yeah, yep. Butterfly knot over there with like floss, or you can just leave it the way it is. And how I've done this, I'm gonna show you the project. So remember the last time I had that shadow box kind of thing? Yeah, I managed to make it into an actual shadow box. And so here's the front. Okay, I know this is a lot of glare because of the fact that this is actually plastic, but bear with me. This is a tag, and this is a really simple, just a simple tag to create this effect in the front. This is that 1-inch punch again. I put it into a bottle cap, and I'm actually going to join the bottle cap swab and mini urban scraps. Here it's vintage, and here's just a sticker. Excuse me. Yeah, and this is the front, and it opens up inside, and this is how the inside looks like. Alright, so here's one of the tea bag folds. One of this random Buy and Road clock with some stickers here as well. And because this was clear, I wanted to stamp the other side as well, and I created this kind of like a laid effect. Alright, the inside, and this is where you see the buttons again. So this actually came from chocolate packaging from Bloomsburg, and I really liked the barcode. So this is one of the ways that you can recycle, like your cereal boxes, your chocolate boxes, your cookie boxes, whatever. Whatever your things come in, they'll have a barcode. Take your 1-inch punch it through, and punch it the 2 holes the way that I did, and there you have really cool looking button. Alright. And here's one of the random pattern papers that I had no idea where it came from anyway. And here we are. So here's like Uno domino, and I stick this black kind of like, what did I use to make this from? I think it's oven baked clay, rosin. Here is one of the blings from Roseanne when she sent me. I got, remember the bulbs I got? Yeah, I didn't even bother buying the Tim Hortons one because it was expensive, right? You can just get it really cheap at like some value store or something. Here is, I'm not sure whether you can catch that. That is a kind of like a charm I made out of like the teardrop crystals that I got from the other time. And so that kind of forms this body with this wing thing, so it makes kind of look like a steampunk angel kind of thing. And there's a key. Moving on to here, you have this bit, and this bit. Same concept. So just go quite fast through, because we're now in 18 minutes. I hope this minute doesn't go 20. Some plastic roses, some poppy flowers, and punched out leaf, and a domino, the button. This is a ticket, if you can kind of see that, the Maya Road transparent ticket, and this is the Kiki's hanger clip. So there you have it, and this is how the side looks like. It wasn't that distressed, but as my dirty fingers continued handling it, it became kind of dirty as well, but that kind of fit in with the look anyway. And this is just the back, nothing fancy, just put pen and paper over. So this is the really cool shadow box thing which I had, and look, you didn't even have to buy a real shadow box. Now, okay, and this is the last thing I want to share with you. So remember the time that I got that acrylic, I made it into like that pseudofiskars punch thingamajic, and it kind of worked kind of well. Okay, I'm gonna pack up everything here, but it works kind of well, and yeah, It works better for rubber stamps because of the way I did the corners. I'm going to share how I did that. So there's a cut and dry foam that you get from Ranger, which I cut out 4 of them, and then using like a really strong tape, I glued double-sided tape, I glued them down. And here you have this fake or pseudo fiskars punch thing. Right? Okay, I'm gonna try and test it out. And actually, I already did before. I just want to show you guys how it works. So I got this stamp from Unity. It says Splendid Things. I'm just gonna go position it right there, right? And I know this is where things are gonna be. Correct? Okay, now I'm gonna take my archival ink, stamp that up. Let's see how it looks like on attack. Alright, so here I just need to give a push. Give more pressure clearly at the stamp. And there I have a wonderful clear stamp without smudging. So look, and this cost me less than $2 to make. Okay, so go and try it, give it a try. This is the cut and foam stamp. You could the weakness of using the cut and foam stamp I'm going to show you is that when I use clear stamps, because clear stamps are thinner, and so clear stamps are thinner, so I had to use this. Okay, I'm just going to show you how it looks. So here I already run into the problem when I put pressure here, there's actually no image because this is too thin, right? But the good thing about the acrylic blocks that I got was that they're relatively bendable, if you will. So, oops, I'm gonna have to find that part. Yeah, and this is the problem that I faced because this is a bit thin, so I have to bend this in a little bit. So sometimes the image gets a bit warpy. But you know, if I do a little maneuvering and a bit of practice, it still works quite well. So it works great with rubber stamps, not too great with thin stamps, but suppose I give it a second try if I'm a bit more careful, for example. Especially the corners. This is a problem, but well, yeah, with a little bit of practice I guess that will work out better. But either way, this is really good for like rubber cling stamps, which I think most people have. Clear stamps, to be honest, if you're small enough, I probably wouldn't have to use this contraption. Yeah, the big ones are one I'm more worried about, but we'll figure out how that works out. But either way, this is still kind of cool, good enough for me to do my rubber stamping. Yep. And so that's everything for today. Oh my goodness, 23 minutes. So thank you guys for watching and hearing me ramble. And catch you guys next time, alright? Bye!